Well now, good morning cadets, Commander Andrews here, welcome to Belém. This is going to be our flight to St. Martin's. Good fun. We are at Belém Airport, Val d'Assas, our carrier code SBBE. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see, I've got the jetway hooked onto the aircraft, so that's something different for a change. And we're going to get on with it, get moving, get going in our little Boeing. Set in our wee little aircraft. Let's go overhead. Whoopsie daisies. There we go. Turn the batteries on, turn the emergency lights on. We are not going to worry about the dome light. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll have all the light we need. Let's zoom up there and turn those nav switches on. We can have a nice relaxing flight today. We are flying to the Caribbean. Some would say Paradise Islands. So sit back, relax, and we're going to have a laid-back flight today. Alrighty then. Let's go get that FS actions, ground services. Let's go get the ground power hooked up, so then we can work without that annoying alarm. Ground power is available. Let's turn that on and give our, if anyone's boarded yet, some aircon in the back. And let's guard that switch. We want to guard that switch. Okay, from there let's turn on the window heats and the probes. Nice. Okay. Now we're going down to the FMC. We're going to get this done nice and quickly. Going to the menu. Let's have a quick look at a little nav map and then let's have an idea of our flight today. Here we are in Belém. This is the Amazon right there. We're going to be flying over it, climbing to 32,000 feet and flying over the top. Finally leaving Brazil and finally landing at an airport that I don't have a problem pronouncing. So, Princess Juliana International at St. Martin's, the famous airport. And if you zoom in here, this is the beach over here where people always get their heads chopped off. Alright, let us go. So now that is TNCM, Princess Juliana. The trip is 1,452. Now, this is going to be one of the longest trips that we've taken, that we've had so far. Interestingly enough, there's the equator. We will be crossing from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere. So already in our trip around the world, we have already crossed from the eastern to the western hemispheres, and now we're going from the southern to the northern. What fun! Okie dokie. Now, as I was saying, one of the longest trips. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do this nice and quickly. FS actions, I want fuel. I just want them to put 2/3 fuel as opposed to the default 50% fuel. Or it's, I think it's 55%. Now we're at 66.7, which I'm a little bit more comfortable with. Okay, so we can go to, where are we going? FMC, pausing it, next page, grab the coordinates, previous page, dump them in. Nice. Reference airport. We are at SBBE, Belém. SBBE. And we are finally leaving Brazil. Been in Brazil for 3 weeks now, plus minus. And that's our reference airport. As you saw, we are still parked at the same gate that we arrived at. And that is gate 1. There is a gate 1 that exists, everyone. Wow, look Okay, the route, origin, yes, SBBE. We're going to be flying at... Wait, we're not asking for altitude yet. This is our destination, TNCM. Somebody was remarking to me the other day, that's a shout out to you, Max, that all of the air traffic controls have the same, it's the same person pretty much, even in all the regions, same accent. I saw a trailer or a review on YouTube today for something called Beyond ATC. It looks fantastic. It's much better than the current ATC that's in the flight simulator, and it even has accents apparently, and it cucks you out. For those international viewers, it shits all over you if you ask it something stupid, like asking for clearance to take off when you're parked at the gate. Fascinating. Give it a find. Go have a look for it. It's called Beyond ATC, YouTube. Coming out, they say, in 2023, which coincidentally is right where we're sitting right now, so I'm keeping a close look on that. Okay, runway. Now, let's look at the windsock. There's the windsock, there's the runway. So that's a good crosswind there. So we're not too sure what runway they're going to give us. So let's go ahead and ask them for our permission now, so we can know just what runway we need to take off. Speaking of bad ATC, we'll be departing, would you say, north or west? It's pretty much northwest, so I'm going to go west.
Belém Ground Commander 736 with uniform request taxi for takeoff departure to the west.
These over here have got nothing to do with what runway they give you.
736 taxi to and hold short of runway 06 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Okay, they've given us 06, so we'll be taking off to the north. Bring little nav map over quickly. There's 06. So we are, whoopsie daisies, sitting here at the moment. We're gonna have to go there, so it could be worse. We could have to backtrack all the way up the taxi there, so that's good. Taking off runway 06. Oh dear, yes, acknowledge taxi clearance.
Taxi to and hold short runway 06 via taxiway Alpha Commander 736.
You can just put your 06. The route. No, we want legs. Right, and for the time being, we're just going to put in TNCM. We'll worry, as we do, about the details on our descent. TNCM. Activate, execute. Nice, let's get going. Altitude, we're going to be at 320. 0 fuel weight, 114.5. The plane knows what it weighs. We're at 0 fuel weight. Now, also we're not worrying about the details with the passengers and cargo this time. And as we, on the, I think it was the Ascension flight, we explained all of that, and we explained, and I found out at the time, I didn't know it before, that by default the flight sim loads your plane full of passengers and cargo with only 50% fuel. Right, so reserves, we're going to go 5. I said we'd make this quick, and then I'm blabbering on, but I've got no one else to blabber to at the moment. Okay, we can execute that in one limit, we don't worry about takeoff. We're going to go flaps 5. We got our 132 rotate speed today. I'll be happy to say 135. Rotated 130, lift off 135, but this plane has got such oomph that it flies past those numbers before you have a chance to pull back on the stick. Okay, CG of 23 and trim 5.9, where usually it's 5.58 when we start off with the default fuel. So I am happy to call that done. Let me just check all of this. Yes. We can go back to progress now. Now that we're happy with that, now we must also not forget to put in the trim. Sometimes that is forgotten. And then you realize as you're hurtling down the runway and wonder why the aircraft's behaving funny. .9. There's a fair amount of real estate to travel there. Okay.
Belém ground GOL transport at 72. Request taxi to the gate.
Right. From
GOL
here,
transport at 72 taxi to gate 5 using taxiway.
flight directors can go on. So, we've got the route as registered
Taxiing to gate
on the
5.
display.
Taxiway GOL transport at 72.
So we're going to take the heading bug and we're going to scroll it to the right there. We are going to be taking off on runway 06, so we'll be in the other direction, which means we need... yeah, around there will do. Yeah. Okay, we're going to climb up to 32,000 feet. And below 10,000, we go up to 250 airspeed. This is knots, not meters. We can arm that so long. Good to arm. And we can set the baro. There we go. Barometer 29.93. If we have a look at the ATC that we just spoke to, yeah, they don't give it to us then. So if we want to make sure, usually you would just push B on the keyboard. That automatically sets your QNH. QNH is the local air pressure at the airfield, so your altitude reads correctly. Then we would go on to the ATIS, and the ATIS, if I press on that now, that's that recorded message, automated message of the local conditions at the airfield. Then they will give us 9.93 inches. And it's in inches because it's an American plane and an American program or simulator. Okay, we can go overhead. We're happy to turn the seatbelts on now. All y'all have sat down and nursing your hangovers from your week in Belém. Cabin pressure we're going to set to 32. Whoops. Because we're going to be decapitating people on the beach as we land, I'm just going to say that landing altitude is 100. And we can go aft fuel pump on. We are ready to start the APU. Now, once we've got the APU, we must remember that we are now using the plane's fuel. Fuel that is supposed to get us to our destination. So we can't dilly nor dally. Right, waiting for that APU to start. You can hear it starting. Pegasus aircraft next to us. There's a guy scraping the wall. He's trying to get some paint off the right side of his vehicle. Yeah, now you can hear that APU nicely, hey? And next to the Pegasus, I think that's one of those Brazilian airlines. I recognize the tail. Alright, have we got APU Gen? We do. We're going to go over to APU. And we can go off ground power. I don't think you usually need to switch off here, but I do so anyways. And we're going to switch to APU Gen. That is done. We can turn the anti-collision lights on. Right, so we're going downstairs now. We're going to, when I say downstairs, we're always going to the FMC, which is this device here. And we are going to tell them, please, you can release the ground power. Okay, and we can also remove chocks. Chocks removed. What that'll do is also retract the... or will it? Better. We're going to have to tell it manually. The jetway. It looks like it's not. Okay. Please release us. It's not releasing us. Let's put the chocks back and then try that. That's better. Okay, the jetway has released us. We are free. Then we can remove the chocks again. Okay. Electrical on those. I think the reason these things are important because otherwise the plane struggles with pushback. I did a bit of research on that. I don't think in real life. I think it's something to do with the simulator. Then we can go, we're ready to start the engines. All fuel pumps can go on. APU bleed can go on. Aircon off. And we are going to request pushback. So, we are going to have a look-see on a little nav map. We want them to push us. There we go. 434 foot. It's still here. So I'm going to say 400. Push back 400, please. And we want to be facing north, so we want tail to the left, nose to the right. So not straight out. We want standard L, turn nose right. That's what I want. We said 400 to the taxi line. Select a tug. I have selected my tug. And let's rock and roll.
Ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready to push. Tail to the left. Park brakes off.
Okay, I think everything looks good.
Brakes released.
Now let's hold thumbs. Let's hold thumbs this works. I think the yaw damper, yeah, we should have turned on already. Let's turn that on.
Brakes released. Here we go.
Here we go. We are moving. That's one good sign. Ready to start. Right engine first. Oh, let's use the left igniters. Turn that off. We are clear. Okay, 25. So we'll be taxiing down there. Right, engine 1. Well, 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 it appears we are turning. Well, well, well. That's what we like to see. Not often you see a hassle-free pushback. Engine 1. I can
Pushback complete. Parking brake set.
parking brake is set. Okay, engine 1 is still spooling up. When this knob here clicks back into place, there it is. Then engines are up and running. We can now go to engine power, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 1. And we can turn the APU off. Right, having a look overhead, packs can go back on. All looks sweet. Except... oh yes, he's gone. Lovely. A nice smooth pushback for a change. Love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so let's not be a silly dilly and then try and accelerate with the parking brake still on. Oh, we are going to... there we... oh, no. It was there. Oh my goodness gracious me. 1. There we go. And we're going to begin our taxi. Let's do it. Thank you, Belém. You've been lovely.
Belém ground, Cessna Papa Romeo, Kilo Yankee Kilo, requesting pushback.
No, not before me.
Cessna Papa Romeo, Kilo Yankee Kilo, pushback request accepted.
These lines I find... you. How are you supposed to stick to those? Okay, we're just going to taxi up to the furthest line here, and then turn left. This guy... ooh, wow! Did he come to a stop? That's unusual. Usually these... oh, wait! I spoke too soon. Fools. Microsoft Flight Simulator. You always do this, just as I'm giving you points.
Papa Romeo, Kilo Yankee Kilo, requesting the end of pushback. Cessna Papa Romeo, Kilo Yankee Kilo, request to end pushback.
Okay. Flaps are still up. Leave them up for now.
Belém ground, Cessna Papa Romeo, Kilo Yankee Kilo, request taxi for east departure with uniform.
Now we got someone thinking they're a big deal. Ah, yeah, I thought better of it.
Kilo Yankee Kilo, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 06 via taxiway Alpha.
Not before me.
Contact tower on 118.7 when ready. Taxi 2 and hold short runway 06 via taxiway Alpha Cessna Kilo Yankee Kilo.
Okay, let's go, peeps. Fair amount of hold position, hold position, hold.
Commander 736, hold position. Caution the Cessna Skyhawk on the taxiway.
Oh, thank you, ATC. You prevented a sure disaster.
Commander 736, continue taxi.
Oh, thank you. Do we need to reply to that? Yeah. Otherwise, my clearance will be cancelled and will be given a number to call.
Roger, Commander 736.
Okay, well, we need to wait for the silly little Cessna in front of us.
Cessna Kilo Yankee Kilo, hold position. Caution other traffic.
What, the fire engine? What are these cars doing? They're racing a circuit. Are we on... Did we somehow get onto top gear?
Hold position Cessna Kilo Yankee Kilo.
Look at these cars. I'm quite flabbergasted.
Cessna Kilo Yankee Kilo. Continue taxi.
Huh. That was fascinating. Okay, let's start lowering those
Roger,
flaps.
Cessna Kilo Yankee Kilo.
1 degree. I'm using the button on my joystick, so if you want to see that how it's manually done, here we go there, that's 2 degree, 3, 5. Whoops, and then you can't see where you're going. They just told the Cessna to hold position because of him.
Cessna Kilo Yankee Kilo.
That's very unusual.
Cessna Kilo Yankee Kilo. Continue taxi.
Strange customs they've got here.
Kilo.
Where the cars have got right... Oh, yeah, that bucky has just been cleared for takeoff. For those international viewers, I mean a pickup truck. Where I come from, we call them a bucky. Okay, let's tune Belém Tower.
Belém Tower Commander 736 at runway 06 ready for departure to the west.
Oh, departure.
Commander 736. Hold short runway 06. Traffic is Cessna Skyhawk on the runway.
That it is.
Hold short runway 06 Commander 736.
Let's go, Cessna. Let's go, 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 go. Put foot, Cessna. I'm coming to get you.
Commander 736, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, Commander 736.
Okay, let's line up and wait. Still on those landing lights.
Kilo Yankee Kilo, continue for east departure.
They're gonna give us clearance to go. Because the
Belém Tower Cessna Papa Romeo, Kilo Yankee Kilo, continue for east departure.
we're departing to the west. The Cessna was going east. So we shouldn't have to worry about him. And neither should ATC. You don't often do nice turns like that.
Commander 736, altimeter 29.9er, 1 wind 100 at 6. Departure to the west approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 06.
Thanks, bub. Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff
Lovely.
runway 06 Commander 736.
Last checks, final checks. Do. Looking good to me. After takeoff, we are turning
Kilo
left.
Yankee Kilo, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
This runway doesn't look as long as Ascension's was. At 130.
8 knots.
Azul 27, go around.
Rotate.
Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Around Azul 27. Azul 27, contact Belém approach on 119.05. Good day.
Goodbye, Belém.
Commander 736, continue for west departure.
Let me guess, I'm leaving your airspace.
119.05 Azul 27.
Okay, let's bring those flaps in.
736, leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Thanks, bub.
Belém Tower Commander 736 frequency change.
Alright, if we have a look on our display down there, we're not doing too badly at all. Keep still on manual, we have not turned on the autopilot yet. There's a different part of the Atlantic we don't see. Okay, final flap is coming in. Gear has finished travelling, so we can turn that into the off position. After takeoff, we can put the TCAS on. How are we looking? We got some bouncy wings. Once again, I've got live weather on. No clouds today. Oh, we've deviated slightly. Right, so I'm ready to put on the autopilot. Let's LNAV should work from here. Let's just lower that nose slightly and altitude hold. Vertical speed. 1,800. Right. She is now in control. I think we should name our plane. If anyone has any suggestions, please, in the comments below. Okay, indicated airspeed. We've reached 250. We're climbing through 6,500. Things look alarmingly under control.
Belém Tower Azul 279 miles west inbound ILS X-ray runway 06 approach. Azul 27 Belém
We
Tower.
do have a 14-knot tailwind, which is nice.
At 6. Cleared ILS X-ray runway 06 approach.
Right, let's have a quick squeeze at little nav map. Here we go.
Cleared ILS X-ray runway 06.
Take off there. There's our tailwind, 15 knot. And we are on our way. Look at that trip. (1,452 nautical miles). Lovely.
Departure 7 wind 100 at 6. Cleared to land runway 06.
Alright, nearing 10,000.
Cleared to land runway 06 Azul 27.
At 10,000, landing lights can go off and we can crank the engine up. Whoops. Checks that the flaps are up, otherwise the plane would be shouting at me by now. I'm happy to go 325 as opposed to my usual 330, just to shake things up. Checks overhead, air packs are on so we don't all suffocate. We can turn the bleed off. APU is off. Fuel damper still on. Everything looks good. We can turn the engine start back to both. Right. We will do our customary cruise section at this point, boys and girls. Okay, cadets, it's time to descend. I hope you all noticed that lovely bank of clouds that we went through on the way. As before, we've got master caution on the fuel. I'll turn that off. As before, we know what to do. Turn off the center tanks. Right, so we'll have a look down here. We'll see that the center tanks are empty, but we've still got plenty of tanks in the wings. Plenty of tanks. Listen to me. Plenty of fuel in the wings, in the wing tanks. So, let's begin our descent. Our airport is at sea level, so we can descend all the way to 2,500 foot. Begin that vertical speed, just to begin the descent, and then we can continue with the fine-tuning of the altitude after she's begun her descent. 2,500, and let's bring that speed back. .65. So there is now a string of islands, if you have a look on the little nav map, that we're following all the way to St. Martin. You would have noticed Barbados as we passed over it. But now we need to start setting up for our landing. We are expecting runway 10. Runway 10. So we are going to have a look for the waypoints. I like map-on, so we'll memorize that. When I say memorize, I mean I'm writing it down off screen. You can't see that. Map-on. So we'll use map-on as the final approach vector. But to get there, I'm liking the look of BOPAT. That's B-O-P-A-T. BOPAT. So we're going to tune the FMC to fly to BOPAT first, then on to map-on, and then it'll be a straight-in approach. For such a famous airport, and this airport, look, we've seen all the videos. We've seen 747s landing here, almost chopping people's heads off. But there's no ILS system, which in the middle of the Caribbean, which is prone to fog, I find a little unusual. But there we are, Princess Juliana International. Okay, let's get rid of the little nav map. We are now going down to the FMC. If I can find my way about this cockpit, that'll be fantastic. Right. Legs. First we're going to try and B-O-P-O-T, BOPAT. And let's see if that gets accepted. And we're going to put it in here. Not in database. Okay, so BOPAT is not in the database, so we're going to have to find another one. How about D238J? Let's give that a go. D238J. Straight in there. We know it's that one. And then M-A-P-O-N. Okay. Then we're going to select Juliana International and put him straight in there. We are all set. 63, then 8, and then 2.6. Execute. That should change our course. We have a look out the window. We should be turning left. And that we are. Right, what islands are these? St. Kitts on our left. If you look out the window on your left, ladies and gentlemen, it's St. Kitts Island that we're passing now. That's a fascinating lagoon over there. Right, so now that I've pulled my attention away from the scenery, we're going to have a look down here. Let's get that zoom out and see what we're looking at. Now, that tells us we decided to descend at just the right time and at just the right descent rate, because my green banana is just before the first waypoint. That's what we want to see. Interestingly, if you have a look on Little Nav Map, there's something quite unique about St. Martin. The bottom half of the island is a different country to the top half. The bottom half belongs to Netherlands, which is the country, technically, that we're landing in today, and the top half belongs to France. That is unusual. This makes it unique, as it's one of the smallest landmasses shared by two countries. So all those clouds have disappeared. And it looks like we've got clear skies from here on in. There's an airfield down there, just disappearing under our left wing. That is TKPK, Bradshaw International. Right, passing through 14,000, we're going at 270. Let's bring that speed down. We want to be below 250 as we pass through 10,000 feet. Let's have a look and see if we are able to contact the airport. But once all those tourists realize that we're on the way, that beach is going to be crowded. Princess Juliana International, we have you. I would like to request a full stop landing.
Juliana Tower Commander 736 is tree 9 miles southeast, 12,800 feet with Alpha to land.
Commander 736 Juliana Tower. Altimeter tree 0.00, wind 134 at 11. Enter left downwind runway 10.
Right, so they've given us 10. They've also given us altimeter 3000, which is our QNH. Acknowledge. Instructions.
Enter left downwind runway 10, Commander 736.
So, if we press B, we shall notice this here. There it is. Changed to 3000 inches. Okay. You'll notice something new in the cockpit. While we were in Belém, I had this fancy bit of technology installed for them nasty weather flights. Whoop, look at that. Isn't that fancy? It's my heads-up display. at vast expense. Which we'll probably never use again. Anyways, let's have a look-see. Right. There is Princess Juliana, and here comes our wee little Boeing. And what is she doing? She is going, just like a Boeing. We're below 10,000 feet. We can turn on those landing lights. And our airspeed is still at 270. Let's introduce a little bit of speed brakes. It's, for a second there I thought it was getting a bit hazy. Now, on our left, that island there is another fairly famous island in the aviation community. That is Xuansho I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anywho, that has got the world's shortest commercial runway. And we might be going to visit that in one of our 0.5 flights. Okay, 7,500, things are looking smooth. Things are looking good. Nobody's sweating yet. Everyone's still keeping their pants and their socks on. Okay, we're now at... Let's slow this aircraft down. Let's take it now to... We still have the speed brakes out. We must remember that. 210 will do nicely. We're now 6,500 feet, still descending. Descending at the usual 1,800 feet per minute. Now the magnetic heading for runway 10 is 96, so we're going to tune our course onto 96. This airport is not fitted with ILS, so not that we need ILS today, the weather is perfect. Shall we adjust the magnification? Okay. We can take our altitude even lower to 1,500. Because I am confident that we have the altimeter set correctly, because if it's not, we might have an early swim before we even get to the hotel. Now the bank angle, we need to... I see the bank angle has been adjusted already, so that might have been me while trying to adjust the heading. There we go. Okay, 210 and indicated airspeed 240. Looking forward to exploring St. Martin. It's a popular destination for yachting and sailing enthusiasts. It hosts several regattas and offers numerous marinas and anchorages. In fact, I see a cruise ship from here. Whoops. That's what happens when you excitingly wanting to look at something. There we go. Let's just look out the window, shall we? see the surface there. We're quite low. We just skedoodle to the right, then we look out the window. There we go. Yep. That's a cruise ship. Alright, I'm hearing the engines pull up, which means we've reached 1,500 feet. Yes, we have, and we should be beginning our turn very soon. There'll be 2 turns between here and touchdown. Okay, we'll slow the aircraft even more. We shall be beginning our turn. There she is. Bear in mind that we are still on LNAV. This is the autopilot turning the aircraft. And I'm quite certain that the captain of that cruise ship has alerted his passengers that Commanders Andrews' 737-600 is on final approach, and all the tourists are on the right side of the ship with their cameras. Okay, we're going to start introducing some flap. 1 degree and 2 degree, and slow us down to 160. And we are going to lower them landing gears. Spoilers are still up, let's put them back. Decreasing altitude to 1,000 foot.
Commander 736, wind 134 at 12. Clear to land runway 10.
And they've given us clearance to land.
Clear to land runway 10, Commander 736.
Thanks, bub. Right, we should have a visual on the runway. Is that it there? Wow, okay. So we've chosen a waypoint very close to the runway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take over control now. And we're going to introduce more flap. And we're going to turn all these annoying alarms off. Here we go. Sit up in our seat. Right, there we go.
1,000.
Okay, we managed to salvage that approach. Okay, I can see all the tourists from here.
500.
I think we might land with some extra selfie sticks on the landing gear.
300. 200.
go
100.
100.
50. 40.
Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
Airspeed's
20.
fine.
10.
Oh. Okay. Let's put that reverse thrusters on. Which I forgot to do in the last flight, which some of you pointed out. And we're on the ground.
Commander 736, turn next taxiway.
Turn next taxiway. Now, I'm going to do... There aren't any taxiways going down this end of the runway. That's a lovely looking sea. I'm going to use this bay here to turn the aircraft around so we can taxi to our gate. One thing we did forget is the auto spoilers. But if I have a look outside the aircraft, look, they did deploy.
Turn next taxiway.
Maybe they're automatic. I must do some research on that.
Commander 736, contact ground on 118.7.
Okay, contact ground.
118.7 Commander 736.
I would like to taxi to the gates.
Juliana Ground Commander 736 request taxi to the gate.
Commander 736, taxi to gate Alpha 4 via taxiway Echo.
Alpha 4.
Taxi to gate
Ooh,
Alpha
that's a
4
lovely
using
looking
taxiway
ship.
Echo Commander 736.
Okay, let's turn that ATC off so now we can concentrate. This bus has been a bit premature. We still have to park, buddy. He's going somewhere else. Okay, let's clean this aircraft up. We can put the flaps up and we can get that APU started. Right, so now we need to find gate A4. Straightforward, although they've given us the oddest gate, but there we go. So we're going to turn on to Echo and just trotty on that way. Okay, the APU is still starting. Landing lights can go off. Wait, other way. That means they were off. Finicky mouse. Let's keep to the center line, everyone. Quite curious to see the other airliners here. It is a paradise holiday destination, so the moment we leave the terminal, it's Mai Tais and pina coladas for everyone. Let's put those spoilers in, shall we? And bring the flaps the rest of the way up. I think they are all the way up. We'll need to check on that. Whoops. Almost. Okay, let's expedite our taxi. And we've got 5,000 pounds £10,000 of fuel left. Right, this is Alphaway, Taxiway Charlie. This is the one that's going to get us to our gate A4. And there's our gate up against the wall next to the car park. Isn't that a charm? Now I know some airports the jetway comes and connects to you automatically the moment you stop the aircraft. I wonder if this is going to be one of them. Because this airport does look a lot more detailed than the ones we've been to so far, because it's more of a well-known airport. But alas, no marshal for us this time. Okay, what I want to do while we're just coming in here is... whoopsie daisies. Yeah, now we're on the APU. So we can also turn this onto APU Gen. And let's park properly here, shall we? We're on the line. There comes the jetway, not wasting any time, I see. I'm happy to park there, otherwise we're going to crash into the tow tug, and those engines can't go off. And we can turn on the parking brake, and here comes the jetway. Lovely. And here we are. Got a Frontier plane there, a Rasta looking plane over there. That looks like British Airways. That's an American plane if I ever saw one. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us on this flight. We'll see you for the next one. We might do a 0.5 as I said before. And yeah, keep posted, subscribe to get notified of the next flight. Thanks. Commander, over and out.